Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of your Frederish podcast. My name's Gary, and here I am once again, one more time with you guys so we can sit down, relax, and have a good conversation, a good chat about anything. Well, today we're going to talk about talking, basically. Yes, gossiping to be more specific. Gossip, if you don't know, is fofoca. Okay, so gossiping is, naturally a verb related to it. So we're going to address today this peculiar habit that, everyone has that. Everyone does that in different levels, in different circumstances. But truth of the matter is, it's how can I put it? It's inside us. Okay, it's part of our human nature. Okay, and we're going to talk more about it. But before that, let me ask you: have you already gone for your hot cup of coffee or hot chocolate, or even water if you're trying to get more hydrated or something, or soda? I mean, it's chilly and sunny today, just like last week. But nevertheless, cold drinks aren't necessarily the best option in my opinion. But anyways, everyone has got their own choices, and so go grab it. Beer if you want to, wine, why not? It's Friday anyways. So as I always say, as whatever it takes for you to relax and come with me in this wonderful and spicy conversation, because we're gonna talk about other people's lives, although we don't know who exactly, but that's it. I wanted to start it off more than ever with my everlasting disclaimer that I'm not an expert on the topic we're going to address right now. The mere purpose of this podcast is to get you to practice English, okay? Possibly and hopefully learn new words, new expressions. Of course, inevitably, get your listening skills, your comprehension skills a little better. That's it. That's the whole purpose of this. In this topic, I would say that there's no experts on it. Okay. But of course, I will start with a little bit of science, okay? Although I'm not an expert in anthropology or anything like that. But I know for a fact, I read that many years ago, that the fact that other people's lives are so interesting to us, okay? To all of us, okay, with no exception. Comes from the fact that we're tribal creatures, okay? At the very beginning, when we were in caves or close enough to that, we would have always like a group of other people, other humans, related to us directly or almost directly, sometimes even indirectly, that we were like, that would be more than important. That would be very paramount. That would be paramount for us to know what's going on in the tribe, who's strong, who's weak. Ultimately, because for the tribe itself, own sake. All right. So this is rooted inside us. Okay, inside of us. That's what I was trying to say from very beginning here. And then that's it. There's no way we can run from it, okay? It's part of us. We love talking about other people, but gossiping is a little different because it goes more about like, what are people saying about something, rather than does this make any sense, or is it true? First of all, is there any confirming source like saying that this happened exactly? It is something that has a natural part that we cannot complain of. We cannot just be hypocrites and say, hey, I don't do that. Excuse me. But there's the evil side, okay, the part of it that is not necessary, and it comes, in my opinion, okay, here's not science talking, it's me, in my opinion, because yeah, in general, we have more free time than people had like hundreds and thousands of years ago, right? And we live more than people, you know. I mean, one could say like, hey, Australopithecus would have more free time than you do because they didn't work, for example. Yeah, but they would die at age 35, 30, 36. They were old enough to die, you know. So, like, yeah, we not only have like more free time, but have more quality free time, and we're of course intellectually superior naturally. I mean, the average guys. I'm not making any direct comparison here, okay? I'm just saying that humanity in general is more intellectually evolved, okay? And that consequently gets potentialized, why not? By the fact that in the past 100 years, like storytelling has been part of everyone's culture, okay? Everyone is somehow. I probably already talked about it before in one of the episodes here, but I think that everyone has got a connection with storytelling somehow. Okay, either you're a person who likes telling stories, or you've got a grandfather or father or mother or whatever, someone in your family to whom you love talking to about stories and listening and having stories from. But if not that, like, we all love movies, you know, we all love talking to people and hearing people's stories and history of life, all right? Biographies are such a phenomenon when it comes to literature, you know. I love reading biographies. It's one of my favorite, literary genres. Okay, so yeah, people, okay, with no exception, like stories, like understanding what people are doing, what people have done wrong, what they have done right, what have been their ups and downs of everyone else, okay? Especially when these people are directly connected to us and more than one person in our family. And why is it that the gossip gets more interesting when the person, the gossip's target, so to say, is related to it's known to someone else in your family? Yeah, that's no mystery yet, because the conversation gets much more interesting. Yeah, you turn to your wife or husband and goes like, hey, you know what his face, you know? By the way, what's his face, what's her face is a way to say fulano fulana, all right? So you know what's his face? Yeah, I know what's his face. So he's done this and that, all right? So, well, that is something else, you know? I love doing that here at home, you know, so I mean, we don't do that all the time, of course, right? There's the ethical barrier, like we don't the point of gossiping is like there are two categories in my opinion, like the gossiping you do inside your own house and it stays in there, and the one you do outside of your house and then it doesn't stay in there. It's you have to be naive enough, you know, you have to be very naive to believe that you say something really, really juicy. Oh, that's an expression for gossiping, that is juicy, okay? I will talk more about expressions related to gossip. But yeah, juicy conversation is a conversation about usually gossip, okay? Juicy from juice, okay? Juicy, basically suculento. Yeah, they use this expression in the States. Perhaps they love gossiping more than we do. Who knows? Anyways, okay. So this is the difference, the main difference, like the one you do and you stay home, and the one you do and doesn't stay home. Okay, you cannot expect to tell something juicy to someone. You tell someone something pretty juicy, some gossip, juicy gossip, and this person will keep it to him or herself. All right, they won't. Okay, so yeah, it will spread, and depending on the story, depending on the, because there's another natural factor, that is the way a story changes, fundamentally and significantly from mouth to mouth. Okay, so it starts one thing, a husband cheating his wife, with his secretary, goes to, the same man has cheated his wife thousands of times with the secretary's father, for example. I don't know, so it gets drastically changed. Okay, every time. So it is pretty dangerous. I avoid doing that. I don't do that in general, unless the person outside of my house is someone who I deeply trust. Okay, but people I deeply trust don't usually. We have more interesting things to talk about. Anyways, my whole point here with this episode is to kind of putting this habit into a trial. Okay, like, should we do that? Is it ethically acceptable? All right. Or we should avoid it at all costs, like not talking about someone else, even if this conversation is harmless, like as the example I just portrayed here, talking to your partner at home, and no one else talks to anyone else about it. Okay. Well, my opinion, as I said, if it stays in your house, if it doesn't get spread, it's okay. It's even an entertainment thing, right? I think I made a pretty interesting connection with storytelling and gossips, because that one is responsible for the creation of this one. Okay. So yeah, it is inside us, the necessity of following someone's journey. Okay, in storytelling, there's the millennium format, that is the hero's journey. Okay, it is changing here and there, one aspect here and there, but it is more or less the same thing with gossiping. It is interesting to know how people are facing trouble, because at some point, at some level, we end up seeing ourselves in their position, don't we? For example, you might have never cheated on your partner, okay? But when you hear that someone is cheating on their partner, your attention will be dragged to this, okay? Because, well, deep down, you would like to understand, hypothetically, what would be the situation if you were on their shoes, okay? If that person in that situation were you, okay? It's a kind of a weird thing to say. I'm not implying that you are not loyal to your partner. That's not my point. But when it comes to the hypothetical situation, yeah, okay. Well, there are stories in my family that I know, okay, and I mean, not the close family, but like, relatively distant family, that I know, and some of the people involved don't. Well, it's pretty weird. I catch myself thinking about it. When I say I know, my wife knows, everyone in my close family knows, but the person in there, some of them, right, don't, okay? And as I was saying, I catch myself thinking like, oh my gosh, how is it possible, I mean, then I just ask myself the same question backwards. I go like, is there anything about me and I'm the only one who don't know in my family, It's pretty weird, but yeah, that's the way things are. All right, so I'd like to make top 3 main subjects of gossip in the modern world, in today's world. Okay, the first one. Well, you never guess it. Yes, it is cheating. Yeah, if you don't know this verb, okay, we have the verb betray in English, that is trair. But when it comes to a marital betrayal, okay, like someone having a secret affair or with a person outside of marriage, it is called cheating, okay, which is the same verb that is like trapaça, okay, trapacear. Okay, cheat is trapaça or trapacear. All right, if you don't know that, now you know. So cheating, so husband is cheating on his wife, a wife is cheating on his husband. Okay, but I would just put it in a bigger category. I would put it in like a category I would call here domestic issues. Okay, like this is the top one in my opinion, as far as I can tell, as far as I see it. Like first of all, of course, in the top list inside this category in domestic issues is cheating, right? Someone being unloyal to their partner. All right, so yeah, but of course it's not only this, like what's going on inside of someone's marriage, like, you know, are they fighting, is there any kind of abuse, is anyone in that relationship being toxic, you know, don't they love each other anymore, you know, what is it, the relationship between them and their kids, are the kids being raised properly, you know. I know it sounds pretty deep, like you may be wondering and asking yourself, like, do I really care about like it, about, you know, other households? Well, I wouldn't say you care, yeah, but when such stories come to you, you pay attention to them. It's inevitable. Why? Because you certainly have your household of your own, have your own family, married or single. It's relevant. You have it. If you're not married, maybe you plan to get married one day. If you were married, you would like to sit and look back and go like, hey, I've been there, done that, you know. So this drags our attention, guys. Let's be honest here. I have to be very honest, you know. Like I've had neighbors in my life that broke up, and I still don't know what happened. Okay, because they were very discreet people. That certainly they didn't tell anyone in the neighborhood. In other cases, I know exactly what happened in there. It is pretty hairy. It is pretty dark, I would say, pretty shady situations. But my point here is, for the ones I don't know, I got itchy, you know, in my curiosity, like what has happened, you know. I feel like asking the people. Of course, I'm never gonna do that. Of course, certainly, Jesus, I'm never gonna do that. But I have to say, I feel like asking, you know, such is our curiosity when it comes to domestic issues. The second category here, the second topic of the top 3 gossiping world, in my opinion, is work. Okay, like who's getting fired, you know, who is, of course, all the 3 topics interconnected somehow. It's like, if they wouldn't, it wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so of course, like who is having a relationship, you know, there are people getting to know each other, going out or dating, you know, who likes and dislikes whom, like, you know, that type of conversation, you know. The bosses, of course, they're the focus of gossip, the focus of the attentions, right? So what's going on in their lives. They buy a new car, everyone is talking about it the other day at work. The staff is it's in the staff's mouth, basically. So I would say work is the category number 2. And interesting to realize, to understand that we spend more time at work than at home, you know. How is it that at home is more intense, you know, the gossiping for domestic issues, as I said, as I classify them, is way more attractive and intense than work one, you know. There's more quality, quote unquote, than quantity, right? But that's it. Like, people are working and getting to know each other, you know. One interesting scenario I heard recently, probably listening some podcasts, that when you stay in hospital, thank goodness I never been like too much for too long in the hospital. Okay, I'm quite healthy, and everyone in my family, I mean close family. But I heard that when you spend like a week in hospital, you know, the staff, the employees kind of lower their guards and start sharing things with you. If you're a gossip person, if you just open up for that kind of conversation, you know exactly who is sleeping with whom in the hospital, you know, like in a few days. It's amazing. It's fantastic. And don't get me wrong here, guys. I'm not, you might have realized that I didn't bring the thing of the gender thing, okay? Like male or female. Of course, with all due respect, women have a way more inclination to gossiping. But make no mistakes, men gossip a lot, okay? Except we gossip in a rather different way, okay? Women gossip more, but men gossip a lot, okay? So it's not a point of, no one is in a position to judge anyone, fellas. And the third and last for today, the top 3 gossiping subjects, main gossip subjects. Yeah, romantic affairs, like who is dating who is going out with who. As I said, they get interconnected with the other 2 topics. Like, say, for example, it's an extramarital affair. Yeah, that will be on the people's mouths. If like it's their work partners, yeah, there's no problem dating work partners as long as it is outside of the company's headquarters. Yeah. But of course that will make room for people to spill the tea, which is like the expression I promised you guys. I said like, oh, I'm gonna teach you an expression that is used in America for gossiping. That is spilling the tea. So when someone says to you, "Hey, spill that tea," yeah, the person is asking for a gossip. Okay, something that you should have some discretion to talk about. All right. So yeah, romantic affair is like top 3, like who's hood with who. Yeah, that goes a lot about celebrities, about people everyone knows. Yeah, the gossip. I mean, when it comes to public people, like the gossip the gossips take a whole different level. They go to a whole different stage of gossiping, right? But even in the anonymous, sphere, anonymous environment, that gets a lot of word on the streets. Okay, people talk a lot about it. Okay, and it is one of the most interesting ones. It's not a coincidence that we call stories romances. You know, like because no matter if it's a sci-fi story, there will be someone kissing someone, sleeping with someone, or even in love with someone. Because this is the whole core. These 3 topics at the end of the day are the core of human beings, of us. Okay, we are that. That's what we are. Okay, we have, of course, be ethical. Going now to a more of a reflexive part of this episode. We have to be cautious, you know, because like sometimes it's not. We delude ourselves. Saying like, hey, this is just an innocent comment. This is just an innocent, harmless conversation. Sometimes it isn't. Okay, so it is nice gossiping. I love doing that. I'll be honest with you guys, but it is all equally awesome. It's way more awesome, to be honest. Like being careful and not making room for misunderstandings, for causing intrigues. We're better than that. Come on, like your life cannot be summarized on talking about other people's lives. Because I mentioned that I had a whole episode about it in the past here in this podcast. Go check it out. That is The Power of Habit, okay? The book Power of Habit. And, as I spoke back then, and you guys will remember if you're here every episode, everything we do becomes a habit, okay? So if you have the habit of gossiping, you will start gossiping at no matter what, okay? So you will inevitably break the ethical barriers. You will like pass along a story which you don't even know if it's true, which you deep inside believe it's not true. You will just pass it along, or worse than that, you'll be like inventing things, telling lies, which is like a whole nother level. Like, this is not cool at all, so it's not a matter of ethics anymore. It's a matter of mental health, I would say, if you start spreading lies or even creating these lies to just for people to have you as a source of entertainment, because at the end of the day, gossiping is a kind of an entertainment. It's something we do to relax, okay, whether we like it or not, but that's what it is, okay. Yeah, guys, I think that this is all for this episode. I've been spilling the tea with you guys, bringing juicy topics, and make sure next week we'll have some more. Okay, so thank you so very much for your lovely and juice companionship, for juice company here today. I hope you have enjoyed this one. Leave your comments below, and I catch you in the next episode. Bye bye.